Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and touch upon the fragrance that was released this year. It's a brand new fragrance release from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. The fragrance we're touching on today is called Why. Now, Y is named after Generation Y, or people born between, I believe it's like the 80s, the 90s, and it's supposed to be a younger fragrance marketed towards younger people. So that's where the name comes from, and it's got a weird marketing campaign, but who am I to judge? Now, it's available in two main sizes, a 100 milliliter and a 60 milliliter. 100 milliliter is going to run you about $94, and the 60 is going to run you roughly in the 70s. So it is still a new fragrance, so it's not too, it's pretty difficult to find it at discounted sites. But in my prediction, you might not have to wait too long. Without any further ado though, let's just start looking at the actual fragrance itself. Now, the notes of the fragrance are listed on screen. I think the bottle design is, pretty interesting, but as far as the fragrance itself goes, this fragrance immediately reminds me of I use the term generic, and generic I use the term to describe fragrances that are so similar to many other fragrances that kind of have a base underlying assumption, and that's what this fragrance does. You get a fresh spray right off the bat, and it dies down to I want to say like a musky, woodsy, citrusy type of a scent. Very pleasant smelling, very clean smelling, and when you think about it, there's like 5 fragrances that all have some sort of similarity to this fragrance. I'm thinking about Invictus, I'm thinking about Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage, Dylan Blue. It all has a similar underlying current. And what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, this is a very fresh, a very pleasing scent, a very crowd-pleasing scent. However, there are other fragrances that do exactly what this fragrance is doing. In fact, from the same line, Yves Saint Laurent Ultimate, the Ultimate fragrance from the L'Homme house, or from the L'Homme line, is, to me, this is like the younger brother almost of that fragrance. So what I'm trying to say is that it's a very pleasant smelling scent. However, it is not the most original scent. It's not the most original scent, and there are other scents, in my opinion, that do what this is trying to do a little bit better. So you're going to get a crowd-pleasing scent, and I don't think people will have a problem with it when they smell you. But it's not too original, and more than likely, if you have any one of those other fragrances that I mentioned, Invictus, I'm not sure if I mentioned Bleu de Chanel, but I would throw that in there, Sauvage, Ultimate for that matter, any of those fragrances that I mentioned, then you would be covered as far as this scent goes. I don't see any reason to go ahead and purchase this scent. So it was really tricky for me to go ahead and kind of smell this and review this because, again, not a bad scent. It's just been done over and over and over again to the point where I'm like, okay, it's here. So I think a new person to the fragrance world, a new person just getting into fragrances who comes across this, and they're probably going to find this a gem, and they may view this as their scent and then view Sauvage as the redundant scent, or view some of those other scents that I mentioned as a redundant scent. So with all fairness, that's pretty much what I think of this fragrance. Spray-wise, I go about 4 or 5 sprays, though you can go more. It's a fragrance that had a little bit of a weird performance. Sometimes I got like 8 hours on my skin. Other times it felt that it died off after about 4 or 5 hours. So a little bit inconsistent in terms of the actual performance, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, the season-wise, I think any season you can go ahead and pull this one off. And I think you can wear this for almost any occasion. Going out, night out, class, work, you name it, you can go ahead and pull this one off. Versatility is one of this fragrance's strengths. Any age group can go ahead and pull this one off. Performance-wise, again, a little bit disappointing in terms of the longevity, how it was spotty back and forth. Projection-wise, it sits closer to your skin. It's not as long projecting or long going out there, and the sillage trail, it really isn't that good. So performance-wise, I'd put it a little below average just based on those factors. Compliment-wise, this is a compliment-getting fragrance. I think this will get you compliments if you choose to wear it and choose to wear it for compliments. So this is definitely along the compliment-getting line and more suited for a younger person. Any age group can pull this one off, but more suited for a younger person. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, Many people may be wondering if I immediately gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars compared to Sauvage, which I gave a perfect mark. The difference between the two is Sauvage did everything that this is trying to do better, and I would say they nailed it. So there are no real performance problems that I found with Sauvage, whereas this one, in its own right, is a, it's just lacking in areas here and there and here and there. Not a bad fragrance again. It's a pretty good fragrance, but again, price-wise, it's up there, and I would not, especially for a designer. Price-wise is up there, and I really wouldn't give it full marks for that. So it's losing points on some price, losing points on originality, losing points on performance, and its main strong point to me is compliments. It is a nice smelling scent. You really can't go wrong, though, if you do end up deciding to purchase it. Once again, though, there are many alternatives to this scent. So look around, but that's pretty much what I think of Yves Saint Laurent Noir. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are on this fragrance. Just leave me a note, send me a message, do whatever you gotta do. Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.